Hello there, welcome back to the Papal State and Holy Trinity, which will be hard to, well, pull off. To be perfectly frank, the problem here is of course the fact that Prussian is required for Livonian Order to reappear. I have no idea if I can actually use Latvia here, or Kurland, and of course Prussia itself, if they actually count. If not, that basically means that if I do another run, either, of course, on the channel by myself, I'll basically have to take down Livonian Order, Teutonic Order, and also the Knights rather rapidly just to make sure that I can actually get them. I basically mean that the problem or the fault that I had this game is most likely the fact that I took it far too easy in terms of when I had to vassalize. I was too worried about opinion, so I didn't want to actually forcefully vassalize or vassalize at all before I had to, and of course that backfired. That backfired rather horribly. What I could do just for fun's sake is actually release Finland and then wait to warn Sweden, but I think we'll do that. I think I'll probably just hand this over to Kurland, Riga, Sweden even, and just get it off my hands, because right now there's not really much I can do here. I haven't actually been able to figure out if I can use Kurland and Prussia, but I believe as far as, well, the research people did for me, that it'll most likely be a no. That cannot be done. But I'll still continue this game just because it's fun. I might go for a Kingdom of God just for fun again. But I'm a little bit unsure what else we'll do in this series. I'll probably have it run until next Sunday, and I'll be working on a new series during this week that is currently coming. So far, the most interesting suggestion has actually been Sweden. Sweden is not overpowered and a lion from the north. And that is probably what I'll do in the next series. If anyone has any more interesting suggestions, you are free to come with them. And we'll see what we end up with there. But for the time being, I don't have any particular plans. What I am going to do right now, however, is continue the war with the Ottomans. And we're going to laugh here as the Mamluks fall apart. Yeah. Austria, France, and Liege. Now, the funny thing here is I'm still allied with France. Pretty sure. So I'll decline that one. I'm sorry, but I will decline that one. Basically, the only reason why Austria was actually able to ask me in the first place is because we're in a war together. But let's face it, Austria is more or less something that I will need to fight, because I need to get them out of the way. I kind of want to connect my lands. So we will definitely fight a war against Austria, and if Austria loses this one against France, next to them being stuck in Ottoman lands, all the better. I'll actually be really happy with that, to be perfectly honest. So for the time being, we'll just sit by here and well, wait, and hopefully we'll end up with a victory in this war. Well, we more or less already have a victory in this war. A suggestion here was actually to bring or give Byzantium some of the lands in Turkey, because they'll basically boost Constantinople. I'm a little bit unsure how that actually works, but sure, we'll give it a go. I'll probably feed them. I'll keep Mentes, I think, probably, but I'll see if I can feed them some of the provinces here, and then we'll see what we'll do. But for now, things are looking fairly alright. Austria here is actually hopefully going to crash and burn in this war. That would be the most, well, the best thing ever. If I have to call land, I'll not be taking the religious ideas just yet. We'll be waiting, so that will be fine. But I'll be keeping an eye here on the French war, and again here I'm pretty sure they will actually crush Austria fairly easily. And to my, basically, as far as I'm concerned, that would be great. But if I improve relationship with Austria, I'm pretty sure I can get that alliance back up and running. Most likely pretty damn soon. Might actually just do that right away. So again, so I actually have choices here. No, they don't want to join or ally with me anymore, and that's fairly alright. I will wage a war on them sooner rather than later, so it doesn't really matter too much in that regard. But I'll just allow the sieges to be completed here in the Ottomans, and then I'll figure out what we want to take. I'll be right back. So far, France is doing fairly well in the war here. They have already sieged 2 of the Austrian provinces. They have won the majority of the battles, but there is an Austrian army here that is fairly, well, big, that will be thrown into fray. So that will be interesting. There's also, of course, another Austrian army right here. But numerically, I think they might have the advantage. I'm a little bit uncertain. But it seems that France might be into trouble here because they're actually war with Castile and Aragon as well as Bohemia. So I think this might actually be something that the French will lose. So I might regret joining them in this war, which is kind of bad, but it is what it is. Not really much I can do about that. The sieges have been completed. The only real issue, of course, is the fact that the Allies are keeping it away from a 100% score. If we want to make peace right now, I can't really get too much. So I think we're going to just wait and then most likely go for a peace deal like this. I'm pretty sure I will get exactly 100% overextension by doing that. So I think we might skip taking Bolu and just go for Biga, Sugla, Udevendiga and Kokaeli here. And that should also most likely force the Ottomans to change their capital, so I can actually have them well, hand this over to Byzantium pretty soon. So that should also work famously well for us. So for the time being, we'll just have to wait, and we should be able to make a proper peace deal rather soon. Funnily enough, here the Mamluks have also got themselves into an issue here with Portugal, Castile, and Aragon. And Portugal have all. Again, the AI is kind of well, kind of silly to be perfectly honest. There's a Mamluk province right here, which is weird, but they do have one, and I'm a little bit surprised that Portugal didn't go for this, but instead went for taking a province over here. Of course, if you consider the fact that it can use me as most likely, I believe it gave them military access, then I guess it makes a little bit of sense, but it's still kind of hilarious. And of course, Verona is also converted again. And Cremona is also currently on its way. I think it might be that my heretic tolerance is currently what's causing this, but I find it hilarious that, again, that the Papal State is just hit so hard by the Reformation. Seriously, it might be just that I'm not supposed to have these provinces, but even so, the closest centre is still in Würzburg. There's a ton of provinces in the area that hasn't been reformed, and again, the country that's hit the hardest by this is me, along with England, of course. But it's still a really weird one. I'm having a lot of trouble making sense of it. So there's that. But let's see here. How long do we have to wait? Just a few more months, and then everything should be fine. Of course. That is provided that I haven't actually missed something here, and that there's one province somewhere that I do not have sieged, but I think I'm fine. So we'll just wait for this to reach 100%, and then we'll make a favourable peace deal to us. The French are definitely losing this war, mostly due to the fact that Castile and, well, Aragon has contributed with as many troops as they have. So I should probably have accepted Austria's declaration here. I should probably check their allies before I did anything, and as you can see here, that is currently why I might have gone a little bit, messed up a little bit too much. What I might have to do is actually cancel my alliance with France and go for Austria instead. That might be a solution. Not a good solution, mind you, but it might be one. Other than that, I'm a little bit unsure what else we'll do here. There we go, Cremona has converted. They are scary fast. And I'm a little bit surprised they haven't actually started in Parma yet, but wow, would you look at this? They're actually converting something in the north. What kind of dark sorcery is this? No, I'm just joking. It's more or less as it should be. Let's see. Again, I think this is the deal that we will be going for. I could, of course, take Sarahan or something else, but overextension-wise, it's not really a safe bet. I'm a little bit unsure here what Byzantium will actually take. So for this, well, just because of that, we'll take 80% overextension. And apparently, I have a looming disaster, thanks to my less religious unity than 100%. So, not the best ever. So let's see if I can actually hand or sell them some provinces, but they will actually take this one, so that's good. I'll see if I can actually get Udevendiga, Kokeli, and Sugla as well. I kind of doubt that. Yeah. Gee. This is not really surprising, but the nation of France, your faithful allies, requesting you come to their aid in French conquest of Galere. So again here, this is basically a war that I do not want to get involved in, because we know how the AI has been pursuing me, at least during this game. Basically everyone will then smack me down here. I think this guys will decline, and we'll see here if we can actually get the alliance with Austria back up and running. But I have a feeling that will not be possible. So I basically made a double screw up here. First and foremost, I lost my alliance with France. Secondly, I lost my alliance with Austria. So I should probably have considered the options a little bit more before I did what I did. But I made my decisions, and they were bad ones. So I will definitely now rely on most likely vassals a bit more. So Byzantium will at least take this one as well, which is good. And I think I'll just have to wait here, but I can probably hand everything over to them, which is of course very, very good. And I realized there that I would reach maximum diplomatic power, so I just wasted 6 points, but we'll do an upgrade in diplomatic tech to level 13. It won't matter too much. Grand shipyard and road networks I can now get. We'll also do an upgrade in the religious idea group. We now have a stability cost minus 25%. Next time we'll actually get the missionary strength. We're just 40 points away, so that is fairly wonderful. And I'll see here if they'll actually take this one as well. They will not. We'll have to wait for them to call the province and hand over to them. And I'll probably do the same thing with Sugla here, and of course Cocatelli. And I guess we'll wait for the next war here, more or less against the Ottomans, and we'll try and feed Byzantium some more provinces. We'll give them back Constantinople, because as you can see here, it's no longer the Ottoman capital. It worked famously well. So we'll just have to wait here, and hopefully things will work out to our advantage. But for now, there's not really too much we can do. There's more or less just sit back and watch. I'm still a bit unsure on Prussia and Courland, so I'll have to deal with that sooner rather than later. But for the time being, I guess it's alright for me to just sit back and more or less watch. But France is getting trashed here by Castile and Austria, so it'll be interesting to see what the result of that peace deal, well, will be. We're going to end it here, unfortunately, and we're going to continue next time. Feel free to comment any comments, praise, criticism, in anything you feel like. Again, I felt like this game has been kind of a weird one, because I didn't really consider the fact that both the Teutonic Order and also Livonia could actually, well, reform into new countries. I didn't actually consider that at all, which is ridiculously stupid by me, but it is what it is. I also did not really remember the fact that the island was Greek and Orthodox, and thus knights would easily fall. Again, my bad. And with Castile here, that is more or less allied with Austria through a inseparable bond, it doesn't seem that likely that I will be getting Malta anytime soon, and it's actually been converted to Catalan culture. So knights is basically a no-go so far. So yeah, I think this game is probably over. I'm a little bit unsure. I might go for messing about a little bit, just allowing the time to run out, create a proper Byzantium, if you will. I might go for that just for fun's sake, see if I can connect my lands, create the Kingdom of God. Again, just for fun more so than any achievements. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised about how this episode went myself. So after this, I'll probably have a couple of days off, more or less, Tuesday and Wednesday, I think. I'll give you a little bit of time to decide what we'll do with this game. And I'll probably start the next game, which will most likely be a game of Sweden. So we'll see how that goes. But I'll probably take this one up again if you guys want to see more of the Papal State. I might try again in the near future. I'm a little bit unsure. Sunset Invasion has also been something that people have wanted for quite a while, but I kind of feel like that is a lot harder than it used to be. And the reason for that is actually fairly simple. Sunset Invasion, when I did it the first time with Westernization, the Westernization was harsh, but it's no less harsh now. And secondly, your troops are actually, I believe, a step below the Western ones, unless they actually tweak that. So you'd have a harder time fighting in Europe, and basically the same type of challenge that I had on the first Sunset Invasion, and I more or less failed. So I kind of feel like I don't want to do that, because I'm pretty sure it'll be another failure. But if you guys would really like me to try again, I can of course do that, but we'll have to see. I think Sweden will be a little bit of a game now. I'll be running 2 games simultaneously, So feel free to come with any comments on what you'd like to see. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.